Good news for fans of women's football in the UK. The 2035 FIFA Women's World Cup will be hosted by the United Kingdom. England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales will all host this tournament in 10 years' time, after FIFA have confirmed that the only valid bid for this tournament was from the UK. The United States has also been awarded the 2031 FIFA Women's World Cup as well. And 4 years prior to that, 2027, the FIFA Women's World Cup will be in Brazil, for you guys who are wondering. So the main question for a lot of people will be, well, what will the venues be? What will this tournament actually look like? Well, they haven't announced the official venues for the tournament, but we can look at some other tournaments to get a good idea of what to expect for this, because the UK and Ireland, or just the UK, have actually hosted a few tournaments, or will host a couple of tournaments pretty soon. If we look ahead to the future in 2028, the men's Euros will be hosted in the UK and Ireland. Now, the big difference here is that Ireland is included in this bid, the Republic of Ireland that is, so there won't be any venues for that for this UK bid, but we can expect the likes of Hampden Park in Glasgow, the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff in Wales, and in England, the likes of potentially Wembley, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the City of Manchester Stadium, the Etihad Stadium to me and you, Everton's new stadium, St James's Park in Newcastle, and also Villa Park in Birmingham to potentially be on the bid. Now, Northern Ireland is not a part of this bid for Euro 2028. It was initially, but the venue for that place has now been gone. I don't think they found a replacement for it yet. They were still deciding on that. But I could well see the likes of Windsor Park perhaps coming in as the Northern Irish part of this bid. I imagine that all four of the confederations, Scotland, England, Northern Ireland and Wales, will at least have one venue. It's only right at the end of the day to have that as a UK bid. So I imagine Windsor Park will probably meet the standards for it. It didn't meet the standards for Euro 2028, but perhaps for the FIFA Women's World Cup it'll be different, or at least there'll be enough time to upgrade that place to a facility that is at least worthy of being able to host these matches. But if we look at the past, because of course Euro 2021, I think it was initially booked as Euro 2022, my apologies. I know the tournaments round then did kind of move. Obviously the men's Euros 2020 did move to 2021, but this is the 2022 edition, the previous edition. We've got the next one coming up in Switzerland this summer, I do believe. But of course England did host this without any Scottish or Irish or Northern Irish or Welsh representation. But just for reference for this, because again we could see potentially some smaller stadiums, although to be fair, the women's game is growing massively. It wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility to have a lot of the same venues as we're going to see for Euro 2028 in this actual bid for the World Cup in 2035. But for reference, in 2022, the following stadiums in England, remember only England, so we're going to see some in Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland obviously for this bid, but in England we did of course see Wembley as a part of this bid, Old Trafford in Manchester, Bramall Lane in Sheffield, Southampton St Mary's Stadium, the Brighton and Hove Albion Stadium, the Falmouth Stadium, or to me and you, the Amex Stadium, MK in Milton Keynes, the Brentford Stadium, their new stadium was involved in this, the G-Tech as it's commonly known, the New York Stadium, not in New York, or Old York in Rotherham, interesting story behind that name, and also the Leeds Sport Village and the Academy Stadium as well for Manchester City. I expect the latter of those two to be nowhere near this bid. A lot of people were actually criticising those venues for being so small because relatively they are tiny, to be fair. I mean, the Manchester City Academy Stadium is only like 4,000 capacity in total, which is just crazy when you think about it, really. And the Leeds Sports Village, only 7,000 or so people allowed in there. So I imagine we'll have much bigger stadium capacities than the G-Tech. Maybe G-Tech will be in there because it's London, but I don't expect Rotherham's New York Stadium. Sorry guys, it's a tidy little stadium. I've been there, it's nice, but it's definitely not the biggest. So I expect it to be more in line with what we're going to see for Euro 2028. But yeah, great news all around. Another international football tournament coming our way in the near future here in the UK. Very good stuff. Your thoughts in the comments below, guys, and will England be the favourites for it? Well, it's a long time in the future. Let's focus on the present. Let's focus on that next Euros, which is coming up in Switzerland. So yeah, see you soon, guys. Have a great day. Have a great weekend ahead. And if you want to see more like this, of course, like, share, comment, subscribe, and all the rest of it here on thefootballchronicle.com.